All right. So let's start on with the session today. How many of you tried to solve these 4 questions yesterday? Yeah, guys, reply fast. Okay, so I got 3. You tried 3 questions. It's fine. I tried, done. Okay. Tried in the sense, Kalidas, were you not able to do any of them? Yes, respond fast. I do all. Okay. Okay. The remaining people, I can see the 5 responses or the 6 responses. What about the rest? Yeah, guys, I guess you all are equally part of this batch as these 5 or 6 people are. So, what about you? Swati, Sudhir, Sai, Prashant, Mohan, Kishore, Gaurav. What about you guys? Ashish, Abhijit. Yes, I want response from all. I did 2 star patterns. Tomorrow will do, ma'am. Okay. No, it's just for today, Vishnu. I will start the class sharp at 8 p.m. And I hope you all know that there will be no classes on weekends. So, like tomorrow and day after tomorrow, there will be no class. Okay, so considering I can assume that you were able to do this, this, and this. How many of you want me to explain this particular question or any of these? If there is a majority, I will just explain that. Otherwise, I will just move on to the next question. Yes, guys.
Actually, I did all, but then one question keeps on arising that sometimes I have to start from 0, sometimes I have to start from 1. Uh, though once the program runs, then it is very clear what to do. But like I see in all your programs, you start from 1 and then less than or equal to the max limit.
It's not like something which I am like enforcing all of you to do. Okay. I'm just
Mhm.
writing it in my own way. And as you are saying that whenever I'm writing the program, I'm at the end able to understand, okay, why I use 0 or why I begin with 1. Okay. So then
Mhm.
it's fine now if you're able to understand it in the end, because it's just the start of the batch and you're writing the code and you're able to understand that why I am doing this in a certain way. So it's a sign that, okay, this is going to help you in the future questions. Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Shekhar, do you have any doubt? Okay. All right, then let's start on with the session. As no one said that they have doubt in this particular question, then I will move on to the next question for the day. The question for today is, you have been given n equals to, let's suppose, 3, and your pattern should look like this, or your n equals to 4, the pattern should look like Yeah, so this should your pattern look like. If n is equals to 4 and if n is equals to 3, your pattern should look like this. So is everyone clear with the pattern right now? The first thing I will recommend you all to observe in this is the number of rows. So if n is given as 3, the number of rows here are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if n is given to you as 4 here, the number of rows here are 7, correct? So if you observe the relation here, the number of rows is equals to whatever number you have been given. It's double minus 1. Clear, everyone? So most of the examples we have seen so far, their number of rows is always equals to n. But in this particular question, it is slightly different. So always, as I recommend, you have to see how many number of rows you have to print and then come up with any relation. Clear? All right then. So now we have to start printing our stars. So if yesterday you all understood that how this half pattern should be printed, as I asked you all right now, that whether all of you are clear with this half pyramid, like pyramid pattern, not half, you are clear with this pyramid pattern, then we can move on to the next. So no one of you said that, okay, I was not able to do it. Now I want the answer from your end. Will you be able to print this above pyramid? And if you are able to do it, I will like, okay, I will let me choose. Okay, Bhuvnesh, will you be able to unmute yourself and dictate the code?
Yeah. So it will be 3 for loop. First for loop will be for all the rows I to n.
I am just writing the code. Okay, you just dictate me one by one what should be written.
Yeah. I equal to 1.
Okay,
I less than equal to n.
I less than equals to n. Are you sure it should be I less than equals to n?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Then I plus plus.
I plus plus. Okay.
Then insert that j equal to n for j equal to n.
Okay.
J greater than equal to I.
J equals to n. J greater than equals to I.
Greater than, not equal to, only greater
Okay. Okay, greater than I.
than. J minus minus.
Mm-hmm.
Then SOP space
Okay.
inside.
SOP, I need to print the space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now end of this for loop.
Okay, done.
Next, one more for loop for k.
Okay.
From 1 in k equal to 1, k less than equal to I into 2 minus 1,
K less than equals to.
I into 2 minus 1,
Okay.
k plus plus. And here we'll print SOP star.
And that's it.
And at the end, SOPLN.
At the end, we have to print SOPLN.
And then close the bracket for first
Then
for.
SOPLN and then bracket close. Clear?
Yeah. So
Okay.
first pyramid will be done, should be done.
Okay. Thank you, Bhuvnesh. How many of you understood this code? How many of you in the class are able to understand this code?
No, I don't think so it will work.
Okay, we will check that. Anyone else who thinks that this code won't work? All right, let's start checking it and then we will get to know if it is working or not. So n is 3. I will start writing. I is given to you as 1. 1 is less than or equals to 3. It will go in. Here again, your j will be assigned as 3. J is greater than I. Your I was 1, right? So 3 is obviously greater than 1. It will come in and print like 1 space.
One.
Here 1 space will be printed. It will go up, decrement the value of j again, and now j will become 2. 2 is greater than 1, obviously. It will come in and print another space. Clear? Then again, when it will go up, decrease the value of j. Now it will become 1. And now when it will check if 1 is greater than 1, it will fail. It will come out of this loop, enter into this, and here it will see that k is equals to 1. K less than or equals to I asterisk 2 minus 1. So it will be I asterisk 2 is 2 minus 1 is 1. So is 1 less than or equals to 1? Yes. So 1 star will be printed. Is it clear so far?
Yes.
Vishnu, is it clear? Okay, everyone else, is it clear? Okay, just give me a minute. Now, when it will again go up, increase the value of k, k will become 2. When it will check here if 2 is less than or equals to 1, this condition will fail. It will come out and it will change the line. Okay, everyone clear so far with the first line?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, good. To increase. Kishore, I'll come to your question next. Now, let's iterate in the loop. Again, it will go up, increase the value of I. I will now become 2. It will again come in and initialize your j with 3 again, okay? Now it will check if 3 is greater than, the I is 2 now. So 3 is greater than 2, correct? And here 1 space will be printed. Now, when it will go up again, decrease the value of j, j value will now become 2. And when it will check the condition 2 greater than 2, the condition will be false and it will exit the loop. Now it will enter into the next for loop where you can see that k is equals to 1 again. It will now again you can find the formula. So I is 2, 2 multiplied by 2 minus 1, that is 3. Okay, so 1 is less than or equals to 3. Yes, no? Yes. So it will come in and it will print a star. Again, it will go up, increase the value of k. K will now become 2. 2 is less than or equals to 3. Yes, it is less. Now again 1 star will be printed. Again, it will go up, increase the value of k. K will now become 3. 3 less than or equals to 3. Again, the condition is valid. So 1 more star will be printed. I hope everyone is getting this. For the next time, when I will now become 3, so it will check the condition here. If 3 is less than or equals to 3, condition is valid, it will come in and again start on with the value of j. So value of j now is 3 and value of I is also 3. 3 is greater than 3. No, it is false. no space will be printed and it will go to the kth loop. After going into the kth loop, it will initialize your value of k equals to 1. Okay, 1 is initialized. It will check the condition here again. Your I is 3 now. 3 into 2 minus 1, that is 5. So 1 is less than 5, correct. 1 star will be printed. And similarly, since you all have got the maturity now, you understand that this loop will run for 5 times. Yes. And hence 5 stars will be printed now. Is it clear to everyone? Guys, is it clear? Yes. Okay. Kishore, why one more loop is required to increase the starts? I didn't understood that. And Jyotsna, I less than, okay. So Jyotsna, I guess you are telling me the same thing for the diamond pattern, not the pyramid pattern, right? Yes. So I hope, Vishnu, your doubt is clear now that this program is working perfectly fine. Any doubts so
Yeah.
far?
No,
Any
this is
questions?
better. No,
This is
this is
better.
better. I did four for loops. The fourth one would be like, I mean, it's not using I into 2 or I minus 1. It starts from something like a new variable starting from 2 until this. So I broke down this triangle into, yes, in this, and then I
Correct.
address the next for loop, right half of that triangle.
Yeah, I got that part, but I hope that you understood that this is the better way to write the code, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, correct. Now you all understand that we have to complete this remaining triangle. Yes,
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
So if you're able to print the pyramid in an upright manner, you can also print it in a downside manner, just reversing few conditions.
So it will need one more for loop.
It
Can you
will
get?
need not only one more for loop, it will need 1 to 2 for loop, but I'm just saying that you will be able to print it, right?
Yeah.
Anyone in the class who is confused? Guys, I cannot teach a class who is so silent. Okay. See, out right now, what I can analyze out of this thing is you can see that the remaining downside parameter, which is upside down pyramid is there. It is having n minus 1 rows, correct?
Yeah.
So you can just start another for loop in a simple manner. If I'll just tell you, you can start another for loop. You can start from 1 and you can go till n minus 1 and I plus plus. Okay, these many number of lines you need to print.
Mm.
Talking
Yeah.
about the space, how many spaces are there on the first line?
One
One.
on both.
In like it is increasing one by one, correct?
Yeah.
So it is basically equals to your I, that on the first row, your number of spaces 1, on the second row, number of spaces 2, and it is increasing accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can have another loop for your spaces where your j is equals to 1. J is nothing but less than equals to I and j plus plus. And here you can simply print your spaces. Next comes the printing of stars. Okay, now there's the tricky part. How we can print the stars?
Start from k equal to 2
Start
instead
from
of 1.
k equals to 2. Why
I
so?
mean, no, so the thing is that it was uh, one less than the previous for loop. So in the previous for loop, the k was from 1 and went until I to I minus 1. But here we want one less star. That's why we want one less on both the sides.
See, the one less on your right hand side doesn't matter,
Yeah, that's true.
correct?
But
And you need to take care of that. You need to print 3 stars because you have already taken care of the spaces right now,
hmm,
correct? So what I'm asking right now is how you will ensure that your stars are printing in the descending order. I hope I made myself clear.
oh, I mean, uh,
Mhm.
minus minus, like it'll go in the reverse order, the loop.
Okay, but I want to ask that how to do that. How to ensure that in the first line of this particular pyramid, it will print 3 stars, and in the next, it will print one. There has to be some kind of logic, right?
So I might be wrong, but for int k equal to 2 to k less than or equal to I 2i minus 1. So what I'm thinking is 2, then uh, 2 times I plus
Okay,
1.
think it in this manner. This is your first row of your downside pyramid, and in the first row, 3 stars are getting printed. And in
Mhm.
the second row, only 1 star is getting printed. If you want to make it in a better way, you can take an upside down pyramid where you have like 5 stars. Okay. Then you have 3 stars, and you have just 1 star. So on the first row, it is printing 5 stars. On the second row, it is printing 3 stars. And on the third row, it is printing 1 star. Any connection? Okay. So what Bhuvnesh is suggesting, Bhuvnesh is saying that you can just have the maximum number of stars ready with you. Okay. How you can have that?
From I
You
equal
know
to
that
1 to minus 1.
I didn't understand what you just said.
Oh, okay, okay. So the same thing what we have done in the k loop for k equal to 1 to 2i minus 1, that will print 5.
But it won't work here, right? Because your I is 1, and if you do the formula 2 asterisk I minus 1, 2 into 1 minus 1, that is 1. So in the first line, instead of printing 5 stars, it will print 1 star, which is not needed. I hope you are getting.
Yeah, in that case, k should initialize from n and then k minus minus.
But what should be the checking condition? How you have to ensure that, okay, I initialized it with n, but up to where it should minus minus. I hope you are getting it.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Guys, it is just a common thing right now. Let's suppose in this case, as you can see, in this particular diamond thing, your n was 3, correct?
Yeah.
But this downside pyramid is running one step behind, which means that the maximum number of stars it is having is 5, which is like the formula is 2 asterisk n minus 1, which is 2 multiplied by 3 minus 1. That is 5, correct? These are the
Yeah.
maximum number of stars it is having. But for the downside pyramid, what are the maximum number of stars? 5
3.
minus 2, like whatever your this formula was giving, minus 2. Getting this?
Yeah.
Everyone else, are you able to get this? Everyone else? Okay. What I'm saying is the maximum number of stars this particular diamond shaped pattern is having is 5, which is nothing but coming from this formula, that is 2 into n minus 1. I hope everyone is able to follow that. Okay, now you got your maximum number of stars, but that is for your upside pyramid. In order to have the maximum number of stars for your downside pyramid, the value is whatever your
Mhm.
maximum value minus 2.
Correct. Yeah. 2 into n minus 2.
Everyone, are you able to follow as well? Yes. So you need to do that and you need to initialize that value here. Okay. Let's suppose I am taking a max value here, which is nothing but 2 asterisk n minus, if I will write it as in this manner, it is 2 asterisk n minus 1 minus 2, which will ultimately become 2 asterisk n minus 3. Clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone that the formula overall is 2 asterisk n minus 3? Okay. So now you know that you have to print this much number of stars. So you can just simply write here your int k is equals to 1. You need to print how many stars? The maximum number of stars. And k plus plus. Okay. You can come in, you can print the stars and you can exit. At the end, you can just have the SOPLN statement. One more thing you need to keep in mind. What is that?
One thing, madam.
Mhm.
So you initialized max equal to 2 into n minus 3.
Correct.
So 2 into 3 is 6 minus 3 is 3.
3.
Okay.
It is not a formula. I just derived it. Okay. You understood this 2 asterisk n minus 1 formula. And
Yeah.
you understood that if I subtract 2 from this as well, it will give you the maximum number, right?
Hmm.
So I just combined this minus 1 and minus 2 and I gave it as 2n minus 3. It is not a formula. I derived a new one. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is just one thing missing from this function. Is there anyone who is able to get that? Yes, guys.
So one thing I'm thinking is that the bracket sign after the vertical triangle and then the inverted triangle, there should be a break. Otherwise, that I
That
loop will.
is here already. It is just being erased a little bit, but that is here.
Mhm. Okay, then fine.
Okay, then if everyone is okay, I will just good Kalidas. But it should not be that. You need to think a little bit more. Your point is correct, but you need to modify it a little bit. Okay. I'll try running this program and see if there is any mistake or it is working fine. Correct, Shekhar. You are going right. I was about to merge that only. And you can think of more better ways than this also. Like you are going right and you can modify it more. I'll just quickly take here int 4. Sorry, int n equals to 4. I'll call here the pattern function.
So are you sharing the screen of the IDE?
Sorry. Thank you. I hope everyone is able to see now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'll just pass n here. For the first for loop for your first pyramid. And you can just, it's not required here. Coming out, you can initialize your max. Your max is nothing but 2 asterisk n minus 3. Let me just copy. Again, your n is going to start with 1. It will go till n minus 1. Your k is going to be starting with 1 less than or equals to I and k plus plus. And your j is going to be less than or equals to max, and it is going to print star and SOP11. That was the code. Yes. Everyone, are you able to follow?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'll just run it. And you can see what is the problem. The upper pyramid is printing successfully, but in the lower triangle, your number of stars are not reducing. They are just shifting one by one because the number of spaces are increasing, but they are not reducing. What is the possible case for that?
So the
Everyone,
max is max is not decreasing.
max is not decreasing, correct. But how should I decrease it? Like max minus minus?
Something like max minus I or something. I mean, it has to be variable. So you have
You
to.
can see now that on the first line, it is 1 star, then 3, then 5, then 7.
Correct.
Again, it is 5. So on the next, what it should be?
3.
3. On the next, what it should be? 1. So at
Yeah.
every stage, it is reducing by 2. Correct. So max should be max minus 2. Clear?
Yeah.
Everyone, are you clear? And now if you run it, it is working in a perfect manner. Clear to everyone? So what we just did was we separated this particular diamond pattern into two different programs and wrote it accordingly. Clear? Now our task is like we are writing too much of for loops. Like you can see here, I wrote one for loop for the starting of the upper pyramid, then 2 inner for loops for, you can say, that space and the star. Then again, I wrote 3 for loops again, total of 6 for loops. Can we minimize it?
Yeah,
Let's see. So your n equals to 4. So your pattern looks like this. And here it is. Now you all know that how many total number of rows are here?
7.
7. 7 is nothing but, you can say, it is 2 asterisk n minus 1. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of starting your for loop for up to only upper pyramid, you can start your for loop for 2 asterisk n minus n rows. Like you can cover the entire rows in one particular for loop.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I want the response from all, not just one person. Again, I am saying I can only see few people responding yes, no, and the remaining, I guess, are sleeping. Cool. Now, you all know how to print the stars in the initial first n lines, correct? So instead, like you can just, what was your k like? Your k was like k is equals to n. K is greater than I and k minus minus. If this is the case, then we were going along, right? Are you all able to follow? Okay. And here we were printing the spaces. Let's check if it will work or not. Yes. Let's check if it will work for the spaces on the upper pyramid.
No, 1 second, it's not very clear. The second for loop for k equal to n to k greater than I. I mean, I'm not able to conceive this because from 4, it'll go until 1. Okay, so 3. Okay, this is, I got it. Yeah.
This is the same for loop which we wrote earlier. Okay, I have not changed any bit of it. It's just the same. What I'm just trying to say it. Previously, we checked it for I equals to 1 till n. That is till 4. Now I want you to check that whether it will work for the previous things or not.
Mhm.
Everyone, are you clear with my thing? Like whatever I said right now? Okay. So I'm pretty sure that for the previous, like for the initial lines, it will work and it will exactly print the, I'm not writing. Okay, let me just write the stars as well. It will print exactly the pattern the way we want. I mean the spaces. Don't consider the stars as well. Just a minute. Okay, so 3, 2, and 1. Now, when your I will become like up to 4, it is working fine, right? Here, this will be 4, this will also be 4, k greater than I, false, and it will go wrong. But in the next case, your k here will be n, that is 4. Your I will now become 5, right? Everyone is able to follow that it will continue for this much lines. Yes. So when your
No.
I will become 5, is 4 greater than 5?
So 1 second. So n is 4, then it is going until 7 times.
No, I'm just talking about the spaces, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay then.
Okay. So you are understanding this, right? Anyone who is not able to understand what I'm trying to convey? Okay. Instead of you asking, I'm just explaining you once again. What I'm trying to say is that previously we were just trying to print this particular pyramid, okay? But now we are trying to print the entire pattern. And your loop is not going to run for this much lines. It is going to run for these many lines. So I have just written the piece of code from the previous code, and I just saw whether it is going to work for the spaces or not. So it is working fine. Everyone clear with that thing? Because no matter how much your value of I will increase, this particular condition is not going to allow for the spaces to print further. Clear to everyone this part?
Yeah.
Yes. Good. Anyone who is having the questions with right now what I explained, you can just unmute yourself and say that is the perk of being in this session, right? So you don't hesitate that, okay, how will I like ask the question, whatever I have. Any silly questions are taken in this class, so you need not hesitate about it. Now, your next for loop was for the printing of stars. So it looked like your J started from 1. It ended up to I asterisk 2 minus 1 and J plus plus, right? Everyone, are you able to follow this? Yes. Will it work now as well? I can consider that it will work up to here, but beyond that, it will work. Will it work?
No.
No. Why so?
Because I mean, we should add one more line. So P star.
Yeah,
Uh,
obviously.
yeah.
Mhm. What will happen is that every time your I value will be increasing. Okay. So here 7 stars are printed. The next time 9 stars will be printed. Then 11 stars. And this will increase the size of your pyramid. It won't be making it in a diamond shape. Clear? So this particular condition should run only up to I equals to n. Then it should stop, right?
Yeah.
Everyone agreeing? Everyone, are you able to understand this? Okay. So you can simply put a if condition here. If I is less than or equals to n, then only this condition should be executed, otherwise not. Clear?
No,
Yes,
I'm if I is less than n, then it should execute. So okay, else it should execute something else.
correct.
Okay.
Clear? Now
Okay.
coming on to your next, that is the printing of your spaces in here. This one space, then 2 spaces, then 3 spaces. We need to consider that thing now. How we are going to do that? Will your previous code work now or not? Because in the previous code, we were writing as for int k is equals to 1, k less than or equals to I, and k plus plus. Okay. And it was printing the spaces. But right now, if I write this, it is going to create a blunder. It will execute this particular code as well and this particular code as well. Because in both the cases, k is 1 and k is less than equals to I, it is also true. Is it clear to everyone?
So what I'm thinking is it will keep on making another triangle which is in the vertical, in the inverted V shape.
Yeah,
It-
but what I'm trying to say here is that what we were saying that for every particular row we were matching, that it is the first row of the downside pyramid, so one space should be printed. It is
Right,
the
right.
second line of the downside pyramid, so only two spaces should be printed, and in that way, correct.
Yeah. It
But
won't be inverted. Yeah.
but now what I'm saying is this first line of your pyramid is actually the fifth line.
Right.
So instead of starting it as 1, can you initialize your k as 5, or better, not 5, but you can say that 2
1 minus 1.
asterisk n minus 3, not 1, not
Okay.
1, it's 3. If you initialize it in this manner, as soon as your row number will become 5, it will execute it one time and one space will be printed. Is it, are you guys finding this thing as complex?
No, say that one more time, please.
What I'm saying is that now this first line of your downside pyramid is actually the fifth line of your diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that if 5 matches 5, then it will execute this for the one time and your space will be printed.
1 point. Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Or still in doubt? Who that was? Is
Yeah.
there
I'm
any
clear.
question? Is there any question still? For the next time when it will come, your I will be 6, your k will be initialized as 5, so it will run for 2 times. For the next time when it will run, your I will be 7 and this will be initialized as 5, so it will run for 3 times. Clear, guys? Okay, good. So I just changed one initialization here. That is, your k will not be 1, it will be 2n minus 3. Is it clear now? The
Yeah.
next concern of ours is now we have to print the number of stars. Okay. So you know that this is the, which line is this?
5.
Fifth line. Okay. And now you need to figure out that number of stars, how many stars needs to be printed. Okay. Do not consider that this is the fifth line, 5 stars should be printed. Okay, there is a relation, because I'll give you an example of 3. And when n is equals to 3 in the fourth line, only 3 stars are getting printed. Okay. So don't make that relation. Clear to everyone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So now, again, you can just follow your strategy here again. You can make some kind of max variable and you can just run it. Let me just write it. But where should your max variable be initialized to?
2n minus 3.
Okay. I'm asking where it should be initialized.
Okay.
Like after this space for loop or before somewhere else?
Before for, like
Which for?
where it is written that that place should be ideal so that it will pass into K.
Guys, you need to ensure this, that this for loop is only executed if once your these particular triangle is get printed. Okay, so you need to again put an if condition here, that if I is greater than n, then only you need to execute this for loop. Okay, otherwise it should not be executed. Clear to everyone?
Mm.
Is it clear to everyone?
Then where is the initialization? It has to be inside if.
And that I'm telling right now. But so far everyone understood how did I merged? Any questions, guys? Okay. Let me just share my IDE and modify that code. Here it was that number of rows should run for this much time. Your K was working fine. J here, I told you to include a condition that if I is less than or equals to n, then only it should execute. And then I told you that this particular K loop will work, but you should be initializing it with the this, and it will work. For the jth loop, again, I told you to put an if condition where if I is greater than n, is anyone having any questions? I heard a voice. And j should be initialized. See, every time you are coming into this j loop, your max should already be updated, right? Because once your max should have to be 5, then 3, then 1. So if you initialize it here, it will always be 5, which won't work. Everyone getting this?
Say that one more time. Like it has to be inside the if. Otherwise, I don't.
Let me just show you. Okay, the practical will be more efficient. I'm just saying if I initialize it inside the max,
Mhm.
max is equals to what I was assigning. Okay, and I just run it. Again, it is facing the same issue. Even though, sorry, I need to modify the max, right?
Yeah.
So I just modify the max here. Max equals to max minus 2. Correct? Here it should be modified.
Yes.
Okay. Now I will run it. But no help, because every time when the loop is running, it will go to this for loop for the spaces. It will come to this for loop and your max will again and again getting initialized to 5. Getting
Should be-
initialized to 5 and then running this loop. Clear?
Yeah, it should be declared outside
It
the.
should be declared outside, but where?
Um, I mean, anywhere outside.
Outside your current running main loop. Okay. That is before this I.
Yeah.
And then it will work fine. Now, any questions? Kalidas, I hope you understood that it should not be above last for loop. Yes, guys, you can just ask your Kalidas what line you are mentioning about.
Can you make n as 5?
Yep. It is distorting.
Right.
Any doubts now?
I mean, I do understand that what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
That the space after that gets for a toss.
I didn't understood you what you're trying to say.
Oh, so yeah, this 2n minus 3.
Mm-hmm. Your 2
mm,
asterisk n will be
minus 1.
10, right? The n is 5.
Yeah. So n is when 5, so it is 7.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it has already printed how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6. Yeah. So it should go until
Now I want the questions for this from everyone. Why is it not working? Let's check it for 3 for better. Oops, sorry. Let me just give the number as 3. It is still not working.
yeah.
Yes. The number of stars are fine, but there is some problem in the space thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone?
Let us,
Mhm.
yeah, let this be the homework. Like we'll spend 2 days on it.
Everyone else, are you agreeing to this or you are going to forget it on Monday?
No, we can fix it today. Yes.
Okay. How many of you are good enough that you can tell me the solution in 5 minutes? Otherwise, I'll obviously close the call and you can find the solution on like and tell me on Monday. But how many of you have the confidence that you can do it right now?
We can try.
Okay. I'm giving you 5 minutes of time. Try to do it.
Can you please maximize the code? Class.
Yep. Yeah, sure. This much is fine, right?
Yeah.
The entire file.
Yeah, what?
So typing will take 5 minutes, the entire thing. So if we just
No, those who want to drop off, they can. Obviously, I will discuss it on Monday. It's fine. I just want to see that how many of you can actually right now do it. Because it's the weekend thing now, so we can extend the class a little bit and just try to fix it right now, okay?
yeah. So in order to fix it, I need to put it in my ID. Otherwise, I mean, I'll be just saying something which will not.
You can just open our ID and check. And one more thing. You all just continue with this. Guys, I have shared one of the link of Hacker Rank contest, which is of Ashok IT. So you can just start solving on to the questions. On the very first page of this, there are lots and lots of pattern question on first page and on the second page. You can just start on with solving that, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So, madam, would it be okay that if you could share this diamond pattern.java on Telegram?
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, I mean, I'll have to recall whatever. Yeah.
No, I'll share.
Okay.
Little bit scroll up, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm just hypothesizing that instead of max 2n minus 3, it should be 2n minus I, and it should be inside the for loop.
Here, are you talking about this? Um,
No, this is the okay. When I is less than equal to this, when it fails, then it goes here. Yes, madam. I'm not sure, but I was thinking that would be the.
Actually, I didn't understood what you said. You can just tell me once
Oh,
again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So what you're doing on line number 20 is probably the right thing. Replace 3 with I. No, I don't know, but yeah. I'm just thinking that if I would keep it.
So I would like to refer to all the people who are not responding in the class right now. Guys, see, there is a glitch in this particular problem right now. Okay. And if the Vishnu would not have pointed out, then no one would have ever noticed that, okay, this program is only working for n equals to 5. And when you all would have run the same program in the contest, it would have created a glitch. So don't just listen in the session. Start thinking that, okay, if ma'am is saying that, is it correct? Or don't accept that, okay, whatever she's saying, it's right. I may maybe sometimes be trying to confuse you. I can clearly see that only 4 to 5 people are responding in the class. The remaining 10 people are like asleep. So it's not gonna work in that way. Okay, it was fine until demos were going on, because demos are meant to be in that way. You can be silent, you can be like responding and all, but in the class you have to be active. So I'm expecting the response from each and every people in the class. Okay, at least like not responding all the time, but you can be responding at least so that I can know, okay, you exist in the class. Few of the people here are from whom I have never seen any kind of response. Okay, so please be attentive and try to respond. Right now I'm just leaving this particular part for you to debug and tell me a proper answer on Monday. Okay, and I am expecting it from everyone, so be prepared. Clear? Anyone so far who has figured out the problem and is ready with the answer? I hope so.
Not yet.
Not yet, right? So it's fine. I'm just closing off the call right now.